I am losing track of the number of wild things that happened every couple days with AI. So I want to talk about just two things. One is deep research, which is not the deep research Google announced, nor is it DeepSeek. This is an OpenAI thing. The names again. And I want to talk about an absolutely bananas press conference between Masayoshi Son and Sam Altman in Japan yesterday, some of which has not really gotten widely published, and it's really weird. Okay, so long story short, deep research, the OpenAI variant, is the first thing that we have been able to see and touch that uses the full O3 model, not O3 mini, again the names, and basically what it is you go out and you give it a query for, I don't know, legal stuff, history stuff, math, science, things that a graduate intern would take a long time to dig research up on and write a paper on. And it comes back in half an hour with a fully researched paper with academic citations, etc. Sam went so far as to say this is going to be valuable for a single-digit percentage of the economically valuable work in the world. I don't know if he's right about that. I can count on 0 hands the number of times that I have needed a paper written with academic citations in the last few years at work. But I do think, before I get too snarky, that there's value here. It is a remarkable tool. And I think that this illustrates one of the things that's hard to explain about AI. AI may be most useful getting us to ask things that we wouldn't have asked otherwise, but that we would ask if it was easier. And so I sure as heck found an interesting question I wanted researched, and it went and dug it up for me and got me a good answer, and I will absolutely be using it going forward. But it's not really replacing something for me. It's actually net new tooling. And I think that we don't do a good enough job talking about the fact that this kind of tool availability, this intelligence at our disposal, is changing the way we interact with our set of tasks that we want to do and how much thinking we want to put into them and how we want to approach them. It's changing the way we do work. It's not necessarily replacing specific tasks. Okay, so that's deep research. I'll probably put more on the Substack later. Now, on to this weird press conference. So the press conference is basically Masayoshi Son, who is the chairman of SoftBank, major tech investor, eccentric billionaire, I think is the way to describe him, saying that he is going to be getting a legacy return on investment for his big investment in OpenAI. It's not just monetary. He wants honor for Japan. He wants reward for Japan. He wants to show his country that he's doing right by them, because most of his investments have been in the US. And so Sam Altman comes over to Japan. Sam does a press conference with him. Masayoshi Son holds what looks like a crystal ball that glows while he talks. And they have a chat about artificial general intelligence. Sam Altman agrees in public that he will announce artificial general intelligence in less than 2 years from a stage in Japan. I know. I don't know what the Microsoft implications are. That's for somebody else's lawyers to figure out. And he further agrees that he's going to set up a Japanese branch of OpenAI, which has a focus on developing a tool called Crystal. I feel like I'm in a science fiction movie, but at least it's not O4 or O5. I guess it's a different naming convention. And Crystal will apparently sit there like the Matrix in the middle of your company, and it will read all your source code, and it will evolve it, and it will fix it, and it will refactor it, and it will also listen to all of your meetings and give you useful notes. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I gotta say, I don't think the source code and listening to the meeting is necessarily, those are not the same things. I don't know that knowing one helps the other, but anyway. Here we are. There will apparently be a thing called Crystal. It will be available for Japanese corporations first, again with the legacy thing. You see the legacy thing that's coming out here? SoftBank wants to bring the benefits of AI to Japan. And it gets even weirder. So that's just sort of the non-monetary return on investment that Masayoshi Son is looking for. On top of that, he seems to have a very strange idea of what AI is. He was literally saying from the stage that he is glad that AI will not be eating us. Yes, eating. Because AI doesn't require protein as a source of energy. And I don't really know what to make of that. I think it definitely fits in the category of eccentric billionaire. It's quite strange. And apparently this is the guy who's going to be funding OpenAI for the next leg of things. And they're doing very well. I should add that Deep Research has single-handedly doubled the high score for the poorly named Humanities Last Exam, which is an exam that was supposed to be the hardest thing we could do. I'm sure we'll come up with another one. The previous high score was set by O3 Mini on Friday at 13%, and on Sunday, it was announced that DeepSeek, also from OpenAI, had doubled it and reached 25%, or almost doubled it. Okay, maybe it'll be 50% by Tuesday. I don't know. It's a weird world right now. And it's odd because you have these like wild announcements, but if you look at it like day to day, am I going to be using Deep Research all the time? I'll probably use it a few times a week. I'll probably ask it questions I wouldn't have asked otherwise. I will learn from it. I will benefit from it. Is it going to replace workflows? No, not yet. It won't. And so I think we need more thinking about like what it means to actually apply intelligence in our workflows. And I don't see nearly as much movement there as I would like. So that's your sort of Monday thought after a wild weekend.